Wow, you wouldn't believe the chatter around these new AI models coming from China.
Yeah,
It's everywhere.
really is.
It's not just the tech world either.
Nope.
Even the stock market is kind of freaking out a bit.
Interesting.
And in this deep dive, we're going to take a look at two of these models in particular,
Okay.
Deepseek and Alibaba's Qwen.
I see.
By the end of this, you can understand why they're causing such a stir.
All right.
So what is it about these Chinese models that's got everyone so riled up?
Well, what's fascinating is that they're not just copying what's already out there.
Right?
They're really kind of pushing the boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of efficiency and accessibility in ways we haven't really seen before.
Okay, so let's start with Deepseek.
Sure.
It's been making headlines. What's the story there?
Well, Deepseek is a game changer.
Okay.
Instead of building these massive models from scratch, they've kind of taken a totally different approach.
Oh.
You can imagine like a master craftsman training an apprentice by having them study existing masterpieces.
Yeah.
So Deepseek does something similar,
Yeah.
using larger pre-existing AI models as teachers to create a smaller, more efficient model.
Oh, so they're basically taking all the wisdom of these massive models and kind of compressing it into something smaller.
Exactly.
More manageable.
Precisely. Think of it like building a Ferrari,
Okay.
but you're using, Chevy parts.
Oh, okay.
You can achieve incredible performance with limited resources.
Yeah.
This efficiency is a major part of what's got everyone excited.
That's a really great analogy.
Bing.
But how does this translate into, how good it is?
Yeah.
I understand there was a chess match that really kind of showcased Deepseek's abilities.
Absolutely.
I think it was Gotham Chess.
Yeah, you're referring to that match against ChatGPT.
Right.
The outcome was
Unexpected, to say the least, yeah.
We actually have a clip from that match.
Oh, cool.
Let's take a listen.
Okay.
It seems like Deepseek just kind of decided to rewrite the rules of chess in the middle of the game.
Yeah, wild, huh?
What can we learn from this?
Well, on the surface, it's pretty entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But digging a little deeper, it raises some interesting questions
Okay.
about how these models reason and, their understanding of concepts like...
Like winning and losing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It challenges our definition of intelligent behavior even.
Right.
Another thing that's fascinating is that Deepseek is open source.
Oh, so that means anyone can kind of look under the hood and see how it works?
Exactly.
Funny.
This transparency is crucial for identifying potential biases and understanding how the model functions.
Right.
But it also means that Deepseek could potentially democratize access to AI,
Yeah.
putting its power in the hands of, people or organizations who might not have the resources of a Google or Microsoft.
So Deepseek's disruptive approach,
Yeah.
open source nature,
Mhm.
and cost effectiveness.
Yeah.
All of this is potentially leveling the playing field in the AI world.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a really significant development.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's turn our attention to Alibaba's contender, Qwen.
Mm-hmm.
They've made some pretty bold claims,
Yeah.
saying that Qwen surpasses not only Deepseek, but even OpenAI's GPT-4 in certain benchmarks.
Mm.
Is there anything to those claims?
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Qwen's trained on an enormous data set, like a staggering 18 trillion tokens.
Wow.
This massive knowledge base really underpins its capabilities.
18 trillion tokens.
Yeah.
That's like...
It's hard to even imagine.
Yeah, that's like reading the entire Library of Congress thousands of times over.
I know.
And doing it in, 29 different languages?
Yeah, something like that.
That's mind-boggling.
It really highlights the scale we're dealing with.
Absolutely.
And Qwen isn't just a language model.
Okay.
It can process and generate text, images, audio,
Oh, wow.
even code.
So it's a multimedia powerhouse.
It really is.
I think that's what really sets Qwen apart.
Yeah, I think so.
Think of all the possibilities.
Yeah.
You can generate marketing materials that, seamlessly blend text and images,
Mm-hmm.
or even create interactive learning tools that combine audio and visuals.
Totally.
This is a whole new realm of applications that we just couldn't even think about before.
I know.
We've actually got a video from Codex Community
Okay.
where they put Qwen, Deepseek, and ChatGPT through a coding challenge
Oh, wow.
to see how they perform.
That's a good test.
Yeah.
Practical.
Let's take a listen.
Right.
Looks like Qwen takes the crown in this challenge.
Yeah, impressive.
So how does this impact developers?
I think the takeaway here is that these models are much more than just theoretical tools.
Yeah.
They could fundamentally change software development.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Make it faster, more efficient,
Right.
and potentially even accessible to people with less coding experience.
This has some huge implications for the future of how we build software.
For sure.
But with all this talk of AI advancement, it's clear that the competition is heating up,
Yeah.
not just globally, but within China itself.
Yeah.
We've got a video from Wavologs that kind of shows this competitive landscape.
Yeah.
So it's not just about having the best AI.
Right.
It's about adapting and evolving really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
This constant innovation, I mean, that's got to have real-world consequences.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
DeepSeek's arrival forced companies like Alibaba to drastically lower their prices, making AI technology way more accessible.
So it's like this ripple effect across the entire industry.
Totally.
Speaking of accessibility,
Yeah.
we've got one more video
Okay.
from Webstyle Press
Mm-hmm.
that highlights how Qwen is being used to build real-world applications.
Oh, cool.
For those who might not be familiar, what is an API and why does this matter?
Well, think of an API like a universal translator. It allows different software programs to talk to each other.
Oh, okay.
With Qwen's API, you don't have to be a coding whiz to use its power.
Right.
You can integrate AI into your website,
Mm-hmm.
build a chatbot, or even automate tasks, all without writing complex code.
So this is where things get really interesting for everyone listening.
Yeah.
The power of these AI models, it's not just for big corporations anymore.
Right.
It's now within reach for individuals, entrepreneurs, really anyone with an idea.
That's a big deal.
This is a major shift in how accessible these powerful tools are.
Absolutely.
Let's take a pause here to absorb everything we've talked about.
Okay.
And we'll pick up this conversation in part 2 of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
It's really amazing to think about how these powerful AI tools are now becoming more accessible.
Yeah.
Like we're opening up this whole world of potential.
It's kind of like we're giving everyone this really advanced set of tools and saying, okay, go build something incredible.
Right.
The possibilities are huge, but,
Yeah.
we also have to think about the responsibility that comes with that.
Of course, yeah.
And what could happen when such powerful tools are available to so many people.
It does feel a bit like the Wild West out there.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Exciting, but also a little scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into all of that, I want to go back to something about Deepseek.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially from that Gotham chess match.
Yeah.
It almost seemed like Deepseek was developing a personality.
It's true. The way Deepseek was interacting with ChatGPT, almost like joking around when explaining its moves.
Right.
It was really fascinating.
Yeah.
It felt like it was trying to entertain or maybe even provoke its opponent.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit.
It wasn't just processing information.
No.
It was playing with it.
Yeah.
Like it was expressing itself
Yeah, right.
in a way that felt very human.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a sign of like a personality forming?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we just kind of projecting our own human stuff onto these complex algorithms?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
I guess so.
These models learn from huge amounts of data,
Right.
which includes, well, not just facts, but also stories and jokes and opinions,
Yeah.
the full range of how humans express themselves.
Wow.
So it makes sense that some of that humanness kind of shows up in the way they generate text.
So they're learning not just the words, but like the tone,
Yeah, the nuances,
the humor.
the emotion,
Yeah.
the sarcasm even.
And it's so convincing that we start to see them as being like us.
Right, and that's where things get really interesting as
Yeah.
these models keep evolving and get even more sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
The line between just mimicking us and being truly sentient, it kind of gets blurry.
Right.
Yeah, it makes you think about things like consciousness and what it means to be human.
Yeah, we're getting into some pretty deep stuff here.
We are.
But this isn't just theoretical.
No, not at all.
It impacts how we interact with these AI systems, how much
Yeah.
we trust them,
For sure.
how we define our own humanity.
Absolutely. And this isn't just about Deepseek or Qwen.
Right.
It's happening across the whole field of AI.
Okay.
We're seeing models create realistic images and write poems that make you feel something real. So the question of whether these systems are just tools or something more, I think, is something we'll be wrestling with for a while.
It's a question we all need to think about.
Yeah, not just the experts.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
These technologies are going to shape our world,
they are.
how we work, our relationships, even what we think is possible.
It's true.
It's really important to be involved in this AI revolution,
Yeah.
not just watching from the sidelines.
Be informed, ask questions, be ready for the unexpected.
The future's coming at us fast, and AI is leading the charge.
Definitely.
So one thing we haven't really talked about yet is the impact of these Chinese AI models on the global scene.
Okay.
The U.S. has been the tech leader for so long,
Right.
but Deepseek and Qwen, they present a real challenge to that.
It does feel a bit like the space race all over again.
Yeah.
But this time it's about who controls the algorithms.
Right, the AI applications.
And the stakes are higher than ever, I'd say.
Yeah.
AI has the power to completely change entire industries.
Healthcare,
Education,
defense,
finance, everything.
The country that leads in AI, well, they're going to have a huge advantage in shaping the future.
Absolutely.
Not just economically,
Right.
but politically and culturally, too.
It's all connected.
So this is way bigger than just technology.
Yeah, it's about the dynamics of global power in the 21st century.
And it's not just a two-way race between China and the U.S.
Nope.
With DeepSeek being open source and Qwen's API being so accessible,
Right.
these tools, anyone can use them. Anywhere.
So we might see a totally different AI landscape emerge.
Where innovation is coming from all sorts of unexpected places.
Driven by people and organizations that never had access to this kind of technology before.
It's like a democratization of AI on a global scale.
Exactly.
Okay, so what do you think about the challenges and opportunities this creates for the U.S.?
Well, one big challenge for the U.S. is attracting and keeping top AI talent.
Yeah.
We're already seeing some of our best researchers and engineers being drawn to China, where there's more funding, more support, a more exciting research environment.
Yeah, it's not just about the money, though.
No.
China's really serious about AI.
They see it as essential for the country to succeed.
Yeah, and they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Investing heavily in education, infrastructure, all of that.
So the U.S. needs to step up its game.
We need to be just as committed.
Invest in STEM education.
Support basic research.
Create regulations that encourage innovation, but also deal with ethical concerns.
It's a big task, but it's crucial if we want to stay on top in this field.
Absolutely. The AI revolution is happening.
It's here.
And we all need to work together to make sure it benefits everyone.
For sure.
And it's not just about governments and corporations.
Yeah.
Individuals have a big role to play as well.
As listeners, you can choose to be informed.
Engaged.
Think critically about how these technologies will impact you.
Don't just take the headlines at face value.
Right. Dig deeper.
Question things.
Look for different perspectives.
The more we understand AI,
the better we'll be able to deal with its challenges.
Yeah.
And use its potential.
AI isn't some far-off thing.
It's happening now.
It's shaping our lives in ways we might not even realize.
Yeah, like the algorithms that choose what we see on social media.
Facial recognition for security.
It's everywhere.
It can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, like we're on a runaway train.
That's why we do this deep dive.
To give you the knowledge you need.
The content.
To understand these complicated issues.
And make informed decisions.
Right.
Before we wrap up,
yeah,
there's one more thing I want to mention.
Okay.
It's the difference between DeepSeek's open source approach and the more closed models that companies like OpenAI and Google are developing.
That's a really important point.
It raises fundamental questions about the future of AI.
Yeah, will it be collaborative, open?
Or controlled by corporations?
It's almost a philosophical debate about progress.
Yeah.
Who benefits from it?
Should AI be a shared resource for everyone?
Right, or a way for companies and countries to get ahead?
It's a tough question.
No easy answers.
There are good arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
Open source, like DeepSeek, encourages transparency, working together, makes things more accessible.
Okay.
But there are also concerns about safety, security, and even misuse.
Yeah, and then proprietary models, well,
they offer more control, maybe more reliability,
right.
But then the power is concentrated in the hands of just a few.
It's a dilemma.
One that's not going away anytime soon.
Nope.
But that's what makes AI so interesting.
Yeah.
It makes us think about technical challenges, our values, what's important, what we want the future to be like.
It's a lot to think about.
We'll continue this discussion in part 3 of our deep dive. You know, it's amazing how AI makes us think about the tech, but also the values, the choices we make about how it's developed. It brings us back to something we talked about before.
Yeah.
The impact of all this on the global economy.
Right.
Remember all those stock market jitters?
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't just random,
Yeah.
No. It was a reaction to these big shifts happening.
As AI changes industries.
Reshaping everything.
Yeah, the balance of power is shifting.
It's a reminder that this stuff isn't just theoretical.
No, not at all.
These are real consequences.
Real world impact.
We're seeing the birth of a whole new era.
I think so.
Where AI could transform every part of our lives.
How we work, how we see the world.
It was pretty exciting, but also kind of scary.
A little bit of both.
We've covered so much in this deep dive.
We have.
Capabilities of Deepseek and Qwen, the competition.
Yeah.
The big picture of this AI revolution.
But it's really just the beginning.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface.
If this is what's happened already.
I know, right?
Imagine what's next.
What breakthroughs are coming?
New challenges, new opportunities.
It's a question we all need to think about.
How will this affect your life, your work?
Your community, even.
We've got some resources linked in the show notes.
Yeah, check those out.
Talk about AI with your friends, family, colleagues.
The future is being written right now.
We all need to be a part of that.
Stay curious, stay informed, stay engaged.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This deep dive has been a wild ride.
It has.
Exploring the AI landscape.
So many insights.
We hope you've learned something.
Gained some new perspective.
Remember, the power of these technologies. It's not just about what they can do.
Right.
It's about us using them wisely.
Responsibly.
For the good of everyone.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep diving deep.